think he asked Big Bill Brunsey. He says, Big Bill, that blues music you play, you call that folk music? And Big Bill says, well, I've never heard no horses sing none of it. I told you not to mention wild folk dancing.
Island washboard she would play. She played on the boardwalk every day. List those studs on the ground, bubbles all around. Rub-a-dub-a-dub in a little tub, and until she found the thimbles on her fingers play the noise. She waved popcorn on the wall ready for the boys. She could rag a tune right through the knees, a brand new pair of BBDs. Coney Island washboard run away. She would play. She'd play it on the boardwalk every day. Lay some suds on the ground, bubbles all around. Rub-a-dub-a-dub in a little tub, and a she found the thimbles on her fingers play the noise. Played washboard on the crawling for the boys. Yeah, she could rag a tune right through the knees, a brand new pair of BVDs. Coney Island washboard run, to Coney Island washboard run. Coney Island washboard run away.
Hello everybody and welcome to, you guessed it, Horses Sing None of It. Here we are again. I'm Lou Gelfond, one of your hosts. Ralph Litwin over here. How you doing, Ralph?
All right.
Tipping your hat. We've got Steve Nelson here on playing every kind of rhythm instrument you could possibly imagine or would ever want to play. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
To the show. And now this is, I'm looking over here. Can we focus on this button over here? It says Tipitinas.
Tipitinas.
Tipitinas. And I've been meaning to ask you about this Tipitinas. I've been looking at it for the last 5 minutes. What's all this about?
Well, Tipitinas is a club in New Orleans. It's a, I would call it the melting pot of rhythm and blues, zydeco, gumbo, Caribbean. It's just a mix. It has been for the last, to me, the last 10 years or the 5 years that I was there between 1980 and 85. I worked there and I saw quite a bit go down. Had a lot of fun. Tipitinas is a great club.
So you worked with bands in the New Orleans area?
Well, I did a lot of things in New Orleans with a lot of different people, locals and well, actually all locals, mostly, I guess you could say, and just different rhythm and blues. I played in a reggae band. I played in a swing band. I did some stuff with Earl King. He's a black blues guitarist down there, and a bunch of members from time to time on a Wednesday night at a Jimmy's nightclub, doing some stuff with a band at the time called the Renegades, which was part of the Meters and some people like that.
So Cajun music was something you really enjoyed doing, and down Louisiana way, got involved in that.
Well,
is this a bulletproof vest that you got on? Or what?
This is a Cajun rub board or Zydeco spoon board. I like to call it a spoon board because I use spoons from time to time. These are silver spoons with wood. I use these a lot, but sometimes I just use silver soup spoons. It's a lot of fun. And this is a piece of stainless steel. This is just a piece of stainless steel.
That's
A
it.
nice piece of stainless steel for playing Zydeco music. It was originated, I believe it was originated by Clifton Chenier and his brother were the first to really bring this thing around in the Zydeco scene, along with accordion and all that.
Well, we'll play another tune, and then ask you to show us what some of the sounds that your rhythm instrument here, instrument or instruments, it's hard to tell. It's a unit.
Conglomeration.
It's a
Yeah, this thing looks like it was, you know, part of a washboard or part of the manufacture of a washboard process at some
Well,
point.
it started out with a regular washboard. I got the idea from a guy who was working at Tips at the time. He was sort of the local rubboard player, and it started. He just had like a bell and a piece of steel coming out with a bell hooked on it, and I liked the idea, so I built one, and then I wore it with a strap, and it turned out that it just kept on growing and growing. Yeah.
Beyond your control.
Yeah.
It just sprouted.
It seemed to needed wheels at a certain point. It needed wheels, and it made it more convenient to move around. I just kind of fold things up and take it with me.
Sure, it looks good. Looks good. Well, I mentioned to play a Cajun tune, so why don't we jump into it here?
Okay.
Give us a little roll on there here. You dig it line, oh, dig it roll, fell in love. I could taste the Cajun gumbo now. That pot of chicken just stirring there. The cayenne pepper, you know. Lots of it.
And let's take a pause where they may be telling us about gumbo.
Yes, if you are hungry, now's the time.
We're sorry to interrupt your programming this evening. I'm Neville Gibson with a special report. On Sunday, November 4th, a robbery took place at the St. Christopher's Rectory in Parsippany, New Jersey, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 noon. The Parsippany Police Department is asking anyone if they have seen anyone coming out of the rectory, anyone at all, during those hours, to please call investigator Michael Scrivani at the Parsippany Police Department. His number is 263-4340. That's 263-4340. Remember, if you saw anyone at all walking out of the rectory during those hours, please call investigator Michael Scrivani. Your help will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Howdy, we're back with Horses Sing None of It with Stevo Nelson here playing this. What do you call this thing anyway?
Well, we could call it a percussion board. I call it a washboard for short because that's what it started as. But I call it, some people call it a thingamajig, a contraption.
A whoozy what's-is?
A whoozy what's-is, anything.
It's an alien vehicle.
The alien vehicle, it can be called a number of different things.
Okay, well here we got a Ray Charles song. Let me tell you about a girl I know. She's my woman and she lives next door. Every morning when the sun comes up, bring me coffee in my favorite cup. That's why I know, yes I know. Hallelujah, I just love her so. When I'm in trouble and I have no friend, she will stay with me until the end. People ask me how I know. I look at them and say she told me so. That's why I know, yes I know. Hallelujah, I just love her so. So Stevo, the first time you got hip to this washboard thing was like when you were down in New Orleans working at this club, you saw this guy do it and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, that looks cool."
He was good too. He was good. He was really good. I thought it was cool,
Uh-huh.
so I wanted to do it.
So what bands you're playing with around this area?
Well, in this area, I freelance a lot with a lot of different people. People let me sit in from time to time, and I play with a lot of different people. I play with people in New York, such as the Robert Ross Band. I play with Old Joe Bones from time to time, which is a local New Jersey band, and I play with another part of that band, which is Which Exit. They're called Which Exit. Some members of Old Joe Bones and Bear's Choice. I do some things with Blue Sparks. I've done some things with George Jr., who's also been on this show.
Yeah.
And I do some things. I also play rubboard, the Zydeco rubboard from time to time with Zachary Richard in New York when he comes to town, if he invites me up there. And that's a lot of fun because he's authentic Louisiana, southern Louisiana Zydeco. He's been on a few shows on the TV set. And I don't know, in New York, sometimes I pop in at the Red Lion with this thing here, or another band called the Chelsea Blues Band, or just about anybody who let me sit in.
Well, if there's any bands watching, we should give out your name and number in case there's a band that wants to get in touch with you.
That'll be great.
So why don't you tell us the information, and if our fellas on the ball here, they'll actually put it on the screen at the same time.
Name and number?
Yeah.
Well, my name is Steve Nelson, and my number would be 584-1393. If you wanted to get a hold of one of these guys, we can arrange it. You can give me a call, and we can work that out.
You give lessons?
If you really need them. if you get yourself a pair of spoons, you can have a lot of fun. And
well, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do another Cajun tune. How about some Bayou Pom Pom?
Okay. Sounds good. What key are you in?
Here, David.
Well, I guess that takes us to another public service announcement, doesn't it? Hi, I'm this guy, and I'd like to tell you about the Folk Project. Folk Project is a non-profit group of musicians and music appreciators, and they run a concert series. They also run a minstrel show coffee house every Friday night at the Somerset and County Environmental Education Center in Basking Ridge, and they run a little festival twice a year up at Stoke State Forest. They also run square dances in Chatham. And if you want to find out more information about this organization, you can write to them at The Folk Project, Box 41, Mendham, New Jersey, 07945.
Hi, everybody. We're here with Steve Nelson, hand truck, I guess, extraordinaire player. Is that it?
Hand truck, yes.
Hand truck player.
Another name.
Rhythm player, and as
Do you ever actually play on the hand truck itself?
Well, you could, when I miss, every now and then.
I'm looking over here to my left, and I think of Woodward and Bernstein. They said, "Follow the money." As I go right to here, I can see a dollar bill. Where did this come from, and why is it up there?
Well, this actually, when I was putting this frame together at a friend's house, so my friend Corey, a good friend of mine, he's a woodworker, he suggested a frame. And when we got done putting this frame together, his dad had come down because he heard us banging around, and he threw the dollar at us and said, "Here you go, guys. Here's a dollar bill for good luck."
And it's stayed with you since.
And we glued it on there with some wood glue, and it's been on there ever since.
Well, Ralph, you had thought of a tune. Was this one of your own tunes, or?
No, this is a tune that I learned off of a very strange album that got left at my house by one of my brother's friends when I was like 9 years old. There was a group called the Playmates. Had nothing to do with Playboy magazine. It was just three guys who had put out this album. The Playmates Visit the West Indies. Ignorant as can be. The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The brain gives the man all the pain. Play a little of that mandolin there, Lou. Stays at home. Whenever horse she marry horse, you never hear that horse get divorced. Oh, do you? The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The brain give the man all the pain. And the chicken nibble on the feed. All that chicken needs. The chicken got no great big list of trouble for the psychiatrist. Oh, do she? The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The brain give the man all the pain. Take it away there, Stevo. chase a mousey for some fun. The kitty got a PhD in design of the nuclear weaponry. The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The trouble with man is the brain. The brain give the man all the pain. The brain give the man all the pain. The brain give the man all the pain. Yes, I must admit I did add that last verse to that song.
Your social consciousness
Updating it a little bit,
just
yeah.
brought it to the front.
Right. So I think we're closing in on time to say goodbye to these folks. We got any closing words of wisdom from you, Stevo, about washboard playing or anything else you'd like people to know about?
Well, I guess you could say if you're going to be a musician, play and enjoy it and love it.
That sounds like good advice. Well, we got one more calypso number to go out on. Or actually, I guess this is a reggae number written by Bob Marley. I think I'll change harmonica so I have a right harmonica to play here.
This is the
I'll pick up a fiddle.
the first one.
This has a rhythm change in it.
Okay,
We're gonna
let's try the rubber board.